Hello and welcome to this presentation on VWBasic. In the last tutorials we saw various operators, if-then conditions and things like that. In this tutorial we will get a little more deeper into the different types of operators that are available. We'll look at mathematical operators, conditional operators and things like that. Operators are nothing but the symbols that we basically use to represent multiplication, division, subtraction and things like that. So we already have seen the addition operator, which is the plus symbol. So let me assign a equal to 100, b equal to 200, c equal to a plus b, and we say print c and we run it. We will see the result as 300. So this is the plus operator. The next operator we'll see is, say for example, the subtraction operator, which is minus. You can run it, and that is the subtraction operator. The multiplication operator is the star symbol. So c equal to a into b. When we run this, you'll see the result coming over here. And then the division operator is the forward slash operator. So when we run this, you'll see the result. So currently if you look at it, a by b equal to 0.5. So this is how it's coming. So now let's make it a little more interesting. We say 10 by 3 and we run it. So you'll see the value as 3.33333. So if you remember, when we actually pass 10 by 2, we get a whole number. And when we pass 3 over here and when we divide, you get a number with decimal points. When you actually divide it by 2, you would actually get a whole number. And when you actually divide it by 3, you are getting a decimal number. A number with decimal points are called floating point numbers and whole numbers are called integers. So that is how the computer internally represents it. If for example there is a number which does not have decimal points, it can be represented as an integer. When you have decimal points, then the number has to be represented as a floating point number. So here we have 3.333. Say we don't want 3.333, we want a whole number after division. We can always use the function called as Parse Int. This is a built-in function. We can use this, and this basically will convert a floating point number into an integer number. So when I run this, you will get the whole number back. So 10 by 3, 3. So now that we are dividing it, actually the result is not 3. It is actually 3 with a remainder 1. So we can actually use another operator called as the modulo operator or the mod operator to get the remainder. So I can say r equal to a, percentage symbol is the mod operator, r equal to this, I can say a mod b. Now when I say print remainder, print r, now when I run it, so now when we divide 10 by 3, we can see 3 is the result and 1 as the remainder. So actually there is an interesting property of the modulo operator. When you divide any number by 2 and you actually run it, we'll see you'll get a 0 because it's properly divided. When you divide 10 by 2, the remainder is 0. But when I actually divide 11 by 2, you'll notice that the remainder is 1. So this property of the modulo operator can be used to actually detect if a number is even or not. So now let's see how we can do that. So now we're going to put a number over here and we'll put our usual if statement. We'll say if a mod b equal to 0, then print even number, else print odd number. There is something interesting that will happen. I made a mistake just to show you something. So let's see, we'll run this directly now. When I run this, it will say something is wrong here, which basically means that this is the first error. So actually b is not declared. So I'll actually put 2 because we just need to divide it by 2 to see if it's an even number or odd number. We don't need the actual value b. Now when I run it, this is the error I actually wanted to show you. When I run it, it will basically say assignment operator equal to cannot be used in an expression. Use double equal to. So if you remember, we have been using the equal to operator to assign values to variables. So when I do the same equal to operator here to see if a mod 2 equal to 0, here I am not actually assigning. Here I am trying to compare two values. I am trying to compare this result to 0. I am not assigning. So what I have to use is I have to use a comparison operator. This is the comparison operator. what you have to remember is when you are using a comparison operator in an if statement, you have to use double equal to. Single equal to is for assignment, double equal to is for conditional operator. So here we are saying if a mod 2 equal to 0, then it's an even number, otherwise it's an odd number. So now let's run. It says it's an odd number because it's 11. So now let's change this into an input statement. So we actually prompt the user to enter a number. Now let's run this. When I ask the user to enter a number, let's say he enters 10, it's an even number. When I enter it's an even number. When I enter say 13, it's an odd number. So this is a simple program that we have used to see how we can detect an even number or an odd number. So please remember to use double equal to in an if and a single equal to for assignment. So the other things that we have, the other operators we have, or the other conditional operators, let's just check. If a is greater than 100, it's actually a false condition, or false instead of false, we'll say true and false, which will make better sense. True and false. Okay, so now it's a false condition. When I say greater than or equal to, it is a true condition because it's greater than or equal to. Similarly, I can say is it less than 100. When I run it, it will say it's not less than 100. Is it less than or equal to 100? When I say yes, it is less than or equal to 100. So for example, I can also have something like less than, is a less than 200? Yes, it is because it's 100, right? So when you run it, it will say true. So similarly, is a greater than 200? When I run it, it is a false. So these are the various operators that you have. You have greater than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So this is greater than, this is greater than or equal to, this is less than, this is less than or equal to. So what about not equal to? Not equal to is this operator where you put a not symbol and you say equal to. So this is a not equal to symbol. So we say that if a is not equal to 100, true. When we run it, this is true. A is not equal to 200. But when I make a equal to 200, this condition will now fail because we are trying to check if a is not equal to 200. So it will come as false. Even though it's 200, we are checking for not equal to 200. So this is the operator for not equal to.